well, I guess I'm supposed to perform some magic tricks to really show you that, and the ability of doing magic and impressing people with some sort of illusion. I can do that. Otherwise, people will consider me crazy and on drugs, which I am crazy and on drugs, but that has nothing to do with it. Okay, so please bear with me and understand that there are secret meanings sometimes in things, but you should be able to understand them, because I would not have been given the green light that there weren't enough of you that would have some interpretation of what the fuck Don's talking about, or enough to know, or to feel comfortable that if this guy knows this and I know this, something along those lines, then that's something to comfort you, because as I'm about to show you here, things get just laid into my lap, some interviews, they give me an idea about what's coming up. And a lot of us who are awake and are going through the ascension are no longer going to be soldiers like I was 2 or 3 years ago. We're going to be more or less nurses to people who are really not going to be able to deal with things very well. I mean, I haven't been able to deal with things very well because it tends to go beyond the scope of what we have ever dealt with, and we thought we could deal with everything. So I'll play this interview with David Wolk a couple months ago.
2008 that you can watch, or maybe 2009, I forget.
Yeah, I'll get into some showing you a little bit of magic, all right?
Before I say what Peterson said, let me just address the first part of your statement, which is...
This is truth, because I was there.
I'm not... This is like playing jazz. It's improvisational. And if I'm riffing on one thing and then something else comes along, it's not because I'm trying to evade a question. I would love it if the timelines that we've been given come true. It's been very frustrating to me getting these leaks, deciding what to leak and what to withhold, because if I withhold it, then you guys don't get to hear it. But if I leak it and then it doesn't come true, I look as if I've been discredited. That being said, what Peterson's top allies have told us, and remember now, we're talking about 5 different sources, completely independent, different levels of the military-industrial complex that do not have contact with each other. What we're hearing is that disclosure is inevitable. It is going to happen, and it's a horse race now as to who can disclose first. So we are seeing these guys on the International Space Station taking photographs of space with craft in the photograph and then posting it without comment. We're seeing Pepsi Cola come out with this very bizarre commercial where they talk about a known element of UFO lore, the Black Knight satellite, and say this is real. And they have this sort of come to Jesus moment on the planet where the ETs are going to save us. And I actually just got a text from Corey right now on Skype. He's saying that he did not say that disclosure was going to happen. Let me clarify what did happen. Corey had a meeting with people calling themselves a committee of 200, suggesting that 100 of them are no longer working in that cabal. And they had said that they did not want Corey and me to release information prior to November. My inference, based on that, was that they thought that something would happen in November that would make it irrelevant whether our information came out by then or not. But nobody actually said, David, the disclosure date is going to be in November. What we are hearing, though, and this is not now from Corey's insiders, it's from Pete's insiders, is, well, actually Corey's insiders corroborated some of this, that there is going to be more and more information coming out. There was just a sketch on the last Saturday Night Live about alien abduction. Very provocative sketch. It's getting closer and closer. And again, nobody's going to know how this is going to happen or when this is going to happen until it does.
Listen here.
But I do believe that when it does, it is really, really going to change the game. And I want you, the Coast listener who's hearing this right now, to recognize that you are a rock star. You are an insider already. And there are going to be many people who will depend on you for information. All of a sudden, all of your friends and family who've laughed at you, who've turned their backs on you, who've said that you were full of it, are going to be coming to you looking for answers and looking for a sense of calm and peace. And you will have a great responsibility to be able to shepherd them into an understanding of how these events that we're now seeing are actually the fulfillment of biblical prophecy and other religious prophecy, and that there is going to be a positive outcome, because there will probably be some degree of panic.
I did.
I was going to say that there will be panic. There's no doubt.
It's unavoidable. There's people whose whole entire God concept is going to be uprooted. Scientists are going to have a very hard time with this, because they religiously worship their belief system, and they have believed that there is no evidence for UFOs and extraterrestrials, but in order to do that, you have to be the ostrich, and you have to knowingly overlook countless wealth of data that is so vast as to be utterly irrefutable in the code of law as proof. It's just voluminous beyond imagination.
Let us go now.
Okay, now, this is just my interpretation, and what I like to say is that someone taught me this. I'm giving you data only, okay? So it is left up to your interpretation, because what happens is I run into people who say, so wait a second, you're trying to tell me that, no, wait, I'm not trying to tell you anything. I'm giving you an interpretation of what I heard, yes, and data of what I've heard. But to try to prove that, I want to show you other things that I've heard, okay? For example, the number 72, all right? A lot of the things that I've been posting for 5 years, I will tell you right now that I do not need to go to a psychiatrist or a doctor or anyone like that. People know about me in that department, in that area, and they run tests, if you want to put it on that, okay? But right when this began happening to me, the big awakening, which for me was very powerful and almost all spiritual, literally, happened in September of 2010. And they would give me little quotative lines like, you will know numbers and you will know dates. And they had double riddle meanings so that I would understand them, which meant that I would begin to understand the numbers and I would begin to understand the dates of things happening. All right, it's like future prediction things. But at the same time, they wanted me to be all one. Okay, I saw a lot of you posting, we're all one, come on everyone, we're all one, we're all one. That's not what they're talking about, all right? I don't care how independent you think you are. You got a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a job, you got money, you got a car. You're not all one. You're not yourself. You're possessed. That's why they call them possessions. You have possessions. My boyfriend's not possessive. He's your boyfriend, or that's my girlfriend. Okay, that's resembling symbolically of what possession means. Okay, symbolically. Okay, so I'm just telling you, that's how that goes. All right. At the same time, when they said you will know numbers and you will know dates, they told me your number is 72 and no one else can take your number from you. Okay, cool. I really wasn't that familiar with the number 72, so I thought. But then they began to show me the amazing connections I had with that number, and secret codes, ancient things, and that are not on Google and not on Yahoo, and no one has ever seen these before. At least as far as I know. If you have seen them, let me know, because maybe I missed them. That happens sometimes. Okay. All right. I'm not a great drawer, but let me give you an example. Dark art. The number 72. I don't know if you can see it all. Okay. 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 The 7.